The Hindu concept of apocalypse is intricately tied to the cyclical nature of time, known as the Yugas, which are four distinct ages: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga, known as the Golden Age or the Age of Truth, is the first and most virtuous of the four Yugas in Hindu cosmology. This age is characterized by a heightened state of righteousness, truth, virtue, and spiritual awareness. It is considered to be the most harmonious and ideal phase in the cosmic cycle. Here are some key characteristics and details associated with Satya Yuga. Duration. Satya Yuga is the longest among the four Yugas, lasting for 1.728 million years. According to Hindu cosmology, each Yuga's duration is a fraction of the previous one, reflecting a gradual decline in righteousness and spiritual values. Human virtues. During Satya Yuga, human beings are believed to possess almost perfect virtues. People are inherently righteous, truthful, and spiritually advanced. The majority of individuals are dedicated to meditation, penance, and the pursuit of spiritual knowledge. Deities and divine presence. The divine presence is more tangible and direct during Satya Yuga. Deities are said to walk among humans, and there is a greater sense of connection between the earthly and celestial realms. Spiritual practices and rituals are highly effective during this age. No disease or suffering. Physical and mental ailments are almost non-existent in Satya Yuga. People live long, healthy lives without the burden of suffering or disease. The environment is pure, and nature is in perfect harmony. Ideal governance. The rulers and leaders in Satya Yuga are just, wise, and rule with righteousness. There is no need for stringent laws or punishments, as people naturally adhere to dharma, righteousness. Deterioration over time. As the cosmic cycle progresses through the Yugas, there is a gradual decline in virtue and righteousness. While Satya Yuga represents the pinnacle of goodness, each subsequent Yuga witnesses a diminishing of these qualities. Treta Yuga, known as the Silver Age, is the second of the four Yugas in Hindu cosmology. It follows Satya Yuga and is characterized by a gradual decline in virtue and righteousness. While Treta Yuga is still considered a relatively virtuous age compared to the later Yugas, it marks a stage in the cosmic cycle where moral and spiritual values diminish. Here are some details associated with Treta Yuga. Duration. Treta Yuga is shorter in duration compared to Satya Yuga but longer than the subsequent Dwapara and Kali Yugas. It lasts for 1.296 million years, reflecting a reduction in the overall virtue and righteousness of the age. Decline in virtue. In Treta Yuga, virtue and righteousness continue to decline compared to the ideal state of Satya Yuga. While people still possess good qualities, there is a noticeable decrease in the adherence to dharma, righteousness, and spiritual values. Introduction of sacrifices. Rituals and sacrifices become more prominent in Treta Yuga as a means to attain spiritual merit and please the deities. Yajnas, sacrificial ceremonies, become elaborate, and people engage in religious practices with the hope of maintaining order and harmony. Appearance of Dharma. The concept of Dharma becomes more defined in Treta Yuga. Codes of conduct and ethical guidelines are established to guide human behavior and maintain social order. However, with the progression of time, these principles become more rigid and ritualistic. Divine presence. While the direct interaction between humans and deities is not as prominent as in Satya Yuga, there are still instances of divine intervention and appearances. Famous mythological events, such as the Ramayana, are believed to have occurred during Treta Yuga. Introduction of caste system. The social structure becomes more organized, and the caste system begins to take shape. People are categorized into different varnas, social classes, based on their roles and responsibilities in society. Advancement in technology. Treta Yuga is associated with advancements in technology and civilization. The use of weapons and tools becomes more sophisticated, reflecting the progress of human society. Dwapara Yuga. Known as the Bronze Age, is the third of the four Yugas in Hindu cosmology. Following Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga represents a continued decline in virtue, righteousness, and spiritual values. While it is characterized by a decrease in the moral and ethical standards compared to the earlier ages, there are still some positive aspects. Here are some details associated with Dwapara Yuga. Duration. Dwapara Yuga lasts for 864,000 years, marking a further reduction in the duration compared to Treta Yuga. As the Yugas progress, each subsequent age is shorter than the previous one. Decrease in virtue. The decline in virtue continues in Dwapara Yuga, with righteousness becoming scarcer. People become more materialistic, and the pursuit of personal gain and pleasure becomes more prevalent. Complexity of rituals. Religious rituals and ceremonies become more complex and ritualistic in Dwapara Yuga. The emphasis on external observances increases, sometimes overshadowing the inner spiritual essence of the practices. Social deterioration. Society experiences a decline in moral and ethical standards. Corruption, deceit, and dishonesty become more common, and there is an erosion of the sense of duty and righteousness. Waning spirituality. While there are still spiritually inclined individuals and sages, the overall level of spiritual awareness diminishes. The connection between individuals and the divine becomes more tenuous. Deities' limited interaction. Compared to the earlier ages, direct interactions between humans and deities become rarer in Dwapara Yuga. The divine presence is not as palpable, and people may find it more challenging to experience a direct connection with the higher realms. The Mahabharata. One of the major epic narratives of Hinduism, the Mahabharata, is believed to have taken place during Dwapara Yuga. The Bhagavad Gita, a central text in Hindu philosophy, is part of the Mahabharata and is set on the battlefield of Kurukshetra during this age. Continuation of the caste system. The caste system becomes more rigid and stratified during Dwapara Yuga. Social distinctions based on birth become more entrenched, and the Varna system, social classes, becomes more hierarchical. Kali Yuga. Known as the Iron Age, is the fourth and final Yuga in the cycle of four ages in Hindu cosmology. It is characterized by a significant decline in virtue, morality, and spirituality. Kali Yuga is considered the most challenging and turbulent phase in the cosmic cycle, representing a time of darkness and spiritual degradation. Here are some details associated with Kali Yuga. Duration. Kali Yuga is the shortest among the four Yugas, lasting for 432,000 years. The brevity of this age symbolizes the rapid descent of humanity into a state of moral and spiritual decline. Complete degradation. Kali Yuga is described as an age of complete moral and spiritual degradation. Virtue and righteousness are at their lowest point, and people are prone to dishonesty, deceit, and selfishness. Dharma erosion. The principles of dharma, righteousness, erode significantly in Kali Yuga. Moral values are distorted, and people become increasingly attached to material pursuits, ignoring the higher purpose of life. Increased violence and conflicts. Violence and conflicts become prevalent in Kali Yuga. Wars, social unrest, and a general breakdown of societal harmony are characteristic of this age. Loss of spiritual knowledge. With the decline of virtue and righteousness, there is a loss of spiritual knowledge and wisdom. Sacred texts are misinterpreted or forgotten, and the true essence of spiritual teachings is obscured. Falsehood and deception. Deception and falsehood become widespread in Kali Yuga. People are easily misled, and dishonesty is prevalent in various aspects of life. Deterioration of family values. Family structures weaken, and there is a decline in the traditional values that support stable family life. Relationships become more transient, and loyalty to family and community diminishes. Reduced lifespan. The average lifespan of individuals decreases in Kali Yuga. While people in earlier yugas were known to live much longer, the lifespan in Kali Yuga is significantly shorter. Absence of virtuous rulers. The rulers and leaders in Kali Yuga are characterized by their selfishness, corruption, and lack of virtue. Just and wise leaders become rare, contributing to the overall decline of society. Dark Age of Spirituality. Despite the challenges, some spiritual practices and paths are said to be effective in Kali Yuga. Devotion to God, particularly through the chanting of divine names, Sankirtan, is considered a potent means of spiritual upliftment in this age. These ages repeat in a continuous cycle, with the belief that humanity is currently in the Kali Yuga. The completion of one cycle of these 4 yugas constitutes a Mahayuga or Treta Yuga, and 1,000 Mahayugas together form one Kalpa. A Kalpa, in turn, represents one day in the life of Brahma, the creator deity. After a Kalpa, Brahma goes into a state of sleep called Pralaya, which is considered the night of Brahma. During Pralaya, the 3 worlds, representing human, divine, and demonic realms, are destroyed, but higher realms remain unaffected. This period of cosmic dissolution lasts for the span of a kalpa. The cyclic process continues, with Brahma waking up after the period of Pralaya to initiate the creation of a new universe. This cyclical understanding of time in Hinduism reflects the idea of eternal recurrence and the impermanence of the material world. While the concept of apocalypse in Hinduism is implicit, there are predictions and prophecies mentioned in scriptures. Lord Krishna, in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, suggests that when righteousness declines and people deviate from their duties, he manifests on earth to restore righteousness and establish order. This implies that the end of days occurs when the world is full of wickedness and sins have reached their peak. Moreover, Hindu scriptures, such as the Vishnu Purana, describe the characteristics of the Kali Yuga, foreseeing a time marked by malpractices, violence, decay, and a departure from righteous living. The decline is anticipated to affect various aspects of society, including rulers, societal values, and the overall moral fabric. The concept of Lord Kalki, the 10th avatar of Vishnu, is also introduced as a potential savior. Lord Kalki is prophesied to appear on a white horse, wielding a sword, and is destined to rid the world of wickedness. His arrival is associated with a transition to a new age, possibly the Satya Yuga, bringing relief and purification to the earth. In summary, the Hindu apocalypse is not a catastrophic end but a cyclical and implicit process, intricately woven into the fabric of time, where creation, preservation, and dissolution play out in a continuous cycle, emphasizing the impermanence and eternal recurrence in Hindu cosmogony. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.